Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can create a plugin using Spigot API. Before this video begins, make sure to join my Discord. It's in the link in the description, and you can pretty much go get help with your code if you have problems. So to begin developing our plugins, we're going to need a couple things. The first one being Java Software Development Kit 8. I'll have this in the description, don't worry. But you're just going to want to download the Java version that's for your operating system. For me, it's going to be Windows 64. You're just going to check this box saying that you reviewed and you accept the Oracle Technology Network License Agreement, and then you just want to download it right here. Now it's going to ask you to create an account. You're going to want to create an account to get the download. For me, I already have it downloaded, so I don't have to worry about that. And once you have the Java Development Kit downloaded, you're going to want to go to this website. It's also going to be in the description. You just want to download the Community Edition. So once you've downloaded it, it's going to say thank you for downloading. You can go ahead and close out of this tab. And so there's also going to be another link that we're going to want to open up for later. We're not going to need this currently, but we're just going to have this open up for later use. I'll have this in the description as well. Once you've installed Intellij, when you open it, you might be brought to a screen that looks somewhere like this. We're just going to ignore everything, and we're just going to hit on New Project. From here, it's going to open up a menu that looks something like this. We're just going to go to the left side here, and we're going to click on Payment, and then we're going to click on Next. Now here, this is where we're going to put the name of our plugin. For me, I'm going to name it Tutorial, and we're going to click down on this arrow right here. And this is our group ID. For me, I'm going to put dev.clem. You could put com.yourname, whatever you want pretty much. And then here, we're going to change this to 1.0.0. And we're going to hit on finish. So once you've opened it up, you might have a loading bar down here. We're just going to wait for this to finish. Once it's finished, the software is going to open up a pom.xml. Now this is where we go back to this little spigot thing that we have here. We're going to basically copy this whole little shebang. And then we're going to throw this underneath the properties. Once you've done this, you might get a little pop-up right here. We're just going to click on this, or you can press Ctrl-Shift-L. Once that's done, we are ready to begin programming. From the top of this hierarchy, we're going to click down into the source folder and into the main folder. Where it says Java, we're going to right click, and we're going to select New Java Class. Now we're going to name this what we put as our organization ID. For me, it's going to be dev.clem, and then we're going to be putting main. And now it should give you something that looks around like this. From this resources folder, we're going to right click on here. We're going to select new file, and we're going to name this plugin.yml. Every plugin is going to need one of these. You're just going to make sure that you have it inside of your plugin, otherwise it's not going to work. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do name, and this can be the name of your plugin. We're going to name this tutorial. Now keep in mind, this name cannot have spaces in it. It will not work. You're going to have it as one word. And now we're going to do down a line, and we're going to do description. This is the description of your plugin. You could use spaces, you can use custom characters, whatever. For me, I'm going to name it, this is a tutorial plugin. Now we're going to go down a line, and we're going to need to add in a version, which this is going to be the version of your plugin. This can be whatever. You could put that and it would work as a version, but it's proper etiquette to put 1.0 or the version of your plugin, use numbers, but just keep in mind you can do something like that and it wouldn't error. So there's the one more thing that we're going to need to add, and that is going to be the main, which is what the plugin looks for in the classes to run whenever the plugin is loaded. For us, it's going to be dev.clem.main. And so to make sure that you don't get any conflicts, we're actually going to change this. We're going to do your organization ID, and then we're going to put tutorial or the name of your plugin .main, and then we're also going to want to refactor this. We're going to want to rename this to dev.clem.tutorial. Or whatever your organization is based on your plugin. And so now once that's ready, our plugin is actually going to work, but it doesn't do anything. So we're going to go into our main class here, and we're going to want to extend Java plugin, just like that. And now this tutorial is going to assume you have some level of Java knowledge. If you don't have any, there's tons of tutorials out there that you can learn Java from. I'm not going to go into depth on how this works, how this statement works, how methods work. This is just going to be a tutorial on how to use the Spigot API. So once we've done this, we can go down the line here, and we're going to make a method, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be public void on enable. And just for good practice, we're going to put override right here. And now what we could do here is we can go ahead and system.out.println, and here we're just going to put this plugin works. So now how do we export our plugin? Well, that's fairly easy using Intellij. All we're going to want to do is to go over here to File, Project Structure, go down to where it says Artifacts, and we're going to add a new artifact. We're going to add a jar for modules with dependencies. I'm just going to select OK. And here we're just going to select include in project build. Now this is going to be the URL to your server's plugins folder. So I'm going to go ahead and select that now. And once you've gotten that, we're going to go ahead and hit apply and OK. And if you don't have a server, you can go ahead and check out my video. I'll have it on screen or in the description on how to actually create a server. So now that we've had this, all we're going to want to do is go over here to build and select build project, and this will go ahead and build our plugin for us and put it inside of our server's plugins folder. So now as you can see here, it has tutorial and, well, that's all it's going to have for you, but I have Plugman. Don't worry about this, this is just to help me for whenever I'm programming. And so this means that our plugin is actually inside the plugins folder, but now we're going to find out if it works. So we're going to want to go ahead and start up our server. And so once our server is actually loaded, if we look up here, it should say, well, this is a little bit of a typo, but it says that enabling tutorial, but no, down here it says this plugin works, which means our plugin's actually properly inside of the server. And so now that we're in our server, if we go ahead and type in /plugins, you will see that our tutorial plugin is on the server. So now that we have our plugin and we're sure that it actually works, we can go ahead and remove this line here. And we're going to go ahead and add a command to our plugin. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new boolean, public boolean on command, and then the first thing in these parameters that we're going to put is a command sender, and then command cmd, a string named label, and an array of strings named args. And we're going to go ahead and basically import all of these. You can do that by pressing Alt Enter, or just going ahead and hovering over the red lines and clicking import. So now here we're going to go ahead and put return false. That doesn't matter right now. What we're going to do is we're going to do an if statement. So it's going to be if the label, which is pretty much the command, if that equals ignored case, and we're just going to put in hello, and now basically compare label to hello, and it won't worry about the capitalization of the words or the strings. And so now we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we're also going to add another if statement. So we're going to say if the sender instance of player, we're just going to hit on enter and import that. Then we're going to want to say player, then we're going to want to say player equals a cast of player sender. And now that might be confusing if you're not very familiar with Java or Spigot API, but basically what it's doing is it's taking the object player and it's casting that object to the sender, which basically makes the sender a player, and we can do stuff with the player that we normally wouldn't be able to do with the sender. And if we didn't check to see if the player if we didn't check to see if the sender was an instance of player, that would probably throw an error. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say player.send message, and then we're just going to say hello there. And down here, when we check if it's an instance of player, we can say that it's not. If it's not an instance of player, then it's probably a console. So we can say sender.send message hello console. So now once we're done with this, we're going to go into our plugin.yml, and we're going to have to make a new property called commands. And what this basically does is it gives the plugin a list of commands to listen for. So first of all, we're going to add our hello command. What we can do is we can go ahead and add in a description, and the description is going to say hello to the plugin. And also I'm going to want to fix this to actually be spelled right. And so now if we go ahead and click on build, and then we build the project, if we go into our server and we type /reload, and we say /hello, it will tell us hello there. And if we were to go over to the console and say hello, it will tell us hello console. So to pretty much wrap up this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can actually get chat colors, which basically turns the regular string into a colored string for the player and the console. So at the beginning of the string, we're going to say chat color dot, and then in caps we're going to choose the color that we want. For me, I'm going to say yellow, and we're going to treat this as a string. So we're going to import this, and we're going to treat this as a string, and we're pretty much just going to add this. We're going to concatenate the chat color yellow to our string that says hello there. And we can actually go ahead and copy this and paste it down here. And so now if we press build project, or you can press Ctrl F9, which is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of this tutorial. If we go into here and we reload once again, and also sorry about the lag guys, but nothing much I can do. So now if we say hello again, you'll see that it says hello there and it's in yellow. But also if we say /help space, and then we say, for example, tutorial, it will tell you a list of commands. And since we put in a description inside of the plugin.yml, it actually tells us the description, which is say hello to the plugin. So the sum of what we did basically today was we made a plugin that whenever a player sends a command, if the command says hello and the sender is a player, then we tell the player hello there in the chat color yellow. Else if it's a console, we say in yellow hello console. So that's going to wrap up today's video. I'm going to be posting another tutorial in probably a couple hours or a couple days or a couple weeks, knowing my schedule. But yeah, I hope that you guys actually did learn something from this. This is actually a revamp of my original series that I did, where I used Eclipse, which, don't get me wrong, Eclipse is fine, but you can use Maven on Intellij, which makes it so much better, and the export size is so much smaller. It's great. So if this video did in any way help you guys out, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and join my Discord if you ever need help with your plugin or just anything. See you guys in the next one.